VTV News. National Conference discusses implementation of Party Central Committee resolution. And we'll take a look at voters' expectations for the 8th National Assembly session.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam, VTV News starts right now.
Good morning. It is 8 a.m. local time in Hanoi, and you're watching VTV News. I'm Huyền Trần with the top stories. The implementation of the resolution adopted at the 10th plenum of the 13th Party Central Committee was the main agenda of a national conference held on Sunday by the Politburo and the Party Central Committee's Secretariat. The event drew many top leaders and former officials, along with over 1.2 million party members nationwide.
Delegates were informed of the draft political report to be presented at the 14th National Party Congress scheduled for 2026. The draft report summarizing theoretical and practical issues in Vietnam's socialist-oriented renewal process over the past 40 years, and the draft report reviewing the first 5 years of the 10-year socio-economic development strategy through 2030. Delivering the closing speech, Party General Secretary and State President Tu Lam said that the session achieved consensus on political resolve, strategic breakthroughs, and strategic orientations and solutions, all underpinned by a new mindset and awareness.
Based on the Central Committee's consensus, it is crucial to bring the party's resolution to each party cell and member, integrating it into daily life. This requires the entire party, people, and army to unite in will and action, mobilizing all resources to implement the policies and strategies set by the Central Committee. The conference also aims to foster discussion and consensus, ensuring unified action across the political system.
The General Secretary and President urged party committees to devise plans, contribute ideas for the 14th National Party Congress documents, address emerging issues such as governance and development, ensure the efficiency of national programs, and prepare the best personnel for party congresses.
The resolution is accurate, so it's essential to affirm the solutions, targets, and roadmap with full coordination. The responsibility of organization and party committee leaders is key. We're fortunate that all party leaders are here to fully understand their responsibilities. Implementation is a collective effort, not just for the central government. The tasks ahead are urgent, and with little time left in the 13th Party Congress term, many goals still need to be achieved. We must act now.
The top leader expressed confidence that, following the conference, the new mindset, heightened awareness, strong determination, and unified thought and action would mobilize every resource. He believed this would maximize both human and material strengths, paving the way for the country's breakthrough development in the coming years.
Party General Secretary and State President Tu Lam, Commander-in-Chief of the Vietnam People's Armed Forces and Chairman of the National Defense and Security Council, on October 20th, granted promotion decisions to 3 high-ranking police and military officers. Under the decisions, Lương Tam Quang, Politburo member, Secretary of the Central Public Security Party Committee, and Minister of Public Security, was promoted from the rank of Senior Lieutenant General to General. Nguyễn Tân Cương, Party Central Committee member, Standing Committee member of the Central Military Commission, Chief of the General Staff of the Vietnam People's Army, and Deputy Minister of National Defense, was promoted from the rank of Senior Lieutenant General to General. Nguyễn Doãn Anh, Party Central Committee member, member of the Central Military Commission, and Deputy Chief of the General Staff of the Vietnam People's Army, was promoted from Lieutenant General to Senior Lieutenant General. These promotions reflect the deep trust and support of the party, state, and people for the armed forces. National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn hosted a reception in Hanoi on October 20th for President and Chief Justice of the Supreme People's Court of China, Zhang Jun. The Vietnamese chairman appreciated the cooperation mechanism of the Vietnam-China Border Provinces Court Conference, which was held for the first time in June 2023 in China, marking a new development in the relationship between the two courts. He expressed hope that the second such conference, scheduled to take place next year, would facilitate the courts of the border provinces of both countries in effectively resolving civil and commercial disputes and cross-border criminal offenses occurring in the border area. The Chinese Chief Justice, for his part, emphasized that the two countries' agreement to build the Vietnam-China community with a shared future that carries strategic significance marks a new step in the development in the bilateral relations, creating many benefits for their people. And on this occasion, through Chief Justice Zhang, the Vietnamese top legislator respectfully extended an invitation to the top legislator of China, Zhao Leji, to make an official visit to Vietnam. The 8th session of the National Assembly opens on a Tuesday, spending 29 days with the largest workload of the term. It will cover legislative work and important national decisions. Voters hope that a swift approval and implementation of these decisions will mobilize resources for socio-economic development and improve living standards.
The North-South high-speed railway, with trains reaching speeds of 350 kilometers per hour, will reduce travel time between Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City to just 5.5 hours. The inclusion of this project's investment policy in the 8th session of the National Assembly has garnered widespread interest.
If the National Assembly approves the project, it will be implemented swiftly. Everyone is eagerly awaiting its execution. People are excited because the high-speed railway will significantly speed up the transportation of passengers and goods, reducing logistics costs. The faster travel time will add great value and result in substantial cost savings.
At the 8th session, legislative work remains the primary focus, featuring the term's largest number of discussions and approvals. Out of over 40 agenda items, about 30 relate to legislation. The National Assembly will approve 15 laws, review 13 draft laws, and pass 3 legal resolutions, marking a significant shift in lawmaking approaches.
The resolution of the 13th Congress emphasized the ongoing development of a strategy to enhance lawmaking. In this session, these ideas will be articulated in the speeches of the General Secretary, the Chairman of the National Assembly, and the Prime Minister for each project, ensuring a comprehensive understanding of each initiative.
In building a rule-of-law state, legislative activities must take precedence to facilitate subsequent actions. This session will focus on developing a cohesive legal system that both meets expectations and addresses pressing societal issues.
A key agenda item for the session is reviewing the government's report on socio-economic development. Growth indicators from the past 9 months show that bottlenecks are gradually easing. Input from National Assembly deputies will help the government devise more effective short- and long-term growth solutions.
Welcome back to VTV News. Now, Standard Chartered has revised its forecast for Vietnam's 2024 GDP growth to 6.8% from the previous 6.0%, reflecting the stronger than expected expansion in the third quarter of this year. In a report released on October 18th, the bank's economists said the country's economic growth momentum has been relatively strong, with improvement across multiple sectors, including imports and exports, retail sales, real estate, tourism, construction, and manufacturing. They predict that trade recovery, increased business activities, and foreign investment will be the main drivers for growth in 2025 and beyond. Team Lila Hafan, Standard Chartered Bank's economist for Thailand and Vietnam, commented, "While we remain conscious about Vietnam's economy near term, we also acknowledge the economy's ability to perform better than market expectations." Vietnamese Women's Day, celebrated on October 20th, is an occasion to honor the tireless contributions of Vietnamese women and look back on Vietnam's strong efforts toward gender equality. Throughout the country, inspirational stories of women affirming their roles and positions in their communities showcase Vietnam's achievements in gender equality.
Passionate about preserving the traditional culture of the Central Highlands, Y Thuong, a Dẻ Chiang ethnic woman, boldly opened a weaving shop selling brocade products. Her handmade items are in high demand, leading to her winning third prize in the Women's Entrepreneurship 2024 competition.
The idea of weaving brocade products from the Central Highlands came from my family. Now, after the competition, I'm motivated to put in more effort and diversify my products.
The success of the Theo District's art and culinary performance space is partly attributed to the active encouragement and oversight of enthusiastic and dynamic local officials like Minh Tân.
When we do something, we do it with conscience and responsibility. There's been a clear change in our ward. The area now has a new look, with spacious, clean, and beautiful features. We are very proud of our local women.
The United Nations has assessed Vietnam's progress in gender equality as a highlight in the country's implementation of the Millennium and Sustainable Development Goals.
So many great role models of female leadership, from the Trung sisters to Lady Chu, to General Huyen Thi Dinh and Madame Binh, of course. These are all very inspiring examples of strong female leadership in Vietnam that goes to show that since historical times, we've seen women assume those roles.
Gender equality cannot come from individual efforts alone. It must be the responsibility of the whole family and society. It forms the foundation for building a civilized, fair, and happy society.
The Prime Minister has issued an official dispatch urging ministries, branches, and localities to assist individuals and businesses in restoring agricultural, forestry, and fishery production affected by storms and floods. He also directed amendments to the decree on mechanisms and policies supporting agricultural production recovery impacted by natural disasters and epidemics. Over the past 7 years, these policies have provided over $250 million in support, but there is still a need for further enhancement.
Hung struggles to hold back tears as she describes her garden, which was devastated by floodwaters. Although she needs funds for seeds, her ornamental plants don't qualify for support under Decree Number 2.
I hope to receive support similar to that given to rice and vegetable growers, since investing in ornamental plants is considerably more expensive.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development has revised its support criteria, increasing the average assistance level by 2.7 times based on current agricultural material prices. People and businesses can now work directly with local authorities to confirm damages, eliminating the need for separate support applications.
These changes aim to help people swiftly restore their livelihoods and access support.
Despite the amendment, Decree Number 2 retains its focus on support rather than compensation. The state budget will aid in reviving production after natural disasters and epidemics, alongside social initiatives. As natural disasters become more unpredictable, farmers and businesses must prepare for risks.
Farmers and businesses should focus on risk diversification to better withstand natural disasters, with agricultural insurance being the most sustainable solution.
After more than 7 years, localities have struggled to effectively support farmers affected by natural disasters and aquatic diseases, revealing the policy's limited impact. To achieve its intended results, support must be timely, accurate, and well-targeted.
Now, before we say goodbye, let's take a look at the weather forecast. And that's all the news we have for this hour. To rewatch our program, you can download our mobile app VTVgo or check out our YouTube channel VTV4Go. Thank you for watching and see you next time.